Alright, thanks for clicking on the video. This is Goldpain. Just back with a quick PSP review here, and this is Spider-Man 2. This is Spider-Man the Movie 2. So it's one of those, like, there's loads of Spider-Man games. Some of them follow the films, and some of them just have their own games. So this one is actually very similar, or like a really, like, you know, Atari 2600 compared to like PlayStation 4, of the new Spider-Man games that were out on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. It's kind of like a very not advanced version of those, because you do this similar kind of swinging around on webs, although the physics isn't halfway as good as the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 versions. But you also like can beat up people, so it's that sort of style, and you're not delivering pizzas in this one as well, which is good. So this one was developed by Vicarious Visions and published by Activision, and it was released very early in 2004. So this is a really early game, although that might be the date for the PlayStation 2, GameCube, Xbox versions, because this Spider-Man 2 came out on multiple different platforms, including the PSP and the DS and the Game Boy Advance. So it could be a bit later for the PSP version, but I'd have to do more research into that, because according to research, by research I mean Wikipedia, it says 2004 here. That seems very early though. The movie was out in 2002, I believe, and the each of the versions is like on each different console is slightly different. Well, apart from the PlayStation 2, GameCube and Xbox, those are very similar. But the PSP and the DS ones and the Game Boy Advance ones, they're all sort of slightly different. I think the Game Boy Advance one is very different, because that's like I don't think that's in 3D at all, actually. I think that's in 2D, I believe, anyway. I can't remember, because I did play a few Spider-Man games on the Game Boy Advance and the X-Men games, and they're sort of like the Spider-Man and the Hulk games that I can remember are like, they're like 2D platformers, you know, with a little bit of punching involved as well. So this game takes place after the second movie, so it's 2 years after the second movie, and it's basically just like Peter Parker going to meet Dr. Octopus, and then you know, loads of Spider-Man enemies coming into the game then. So the Tobey Maguire and the rest of the cast, they seemed, I didn't think it was actually, when I was listening to the voice acting in this, I didn't think it was Tobey Maguire. So I don't know if he just did the console versions, and even J. Jonah Jameson, who I always find it so weird that J. Jonah Jameson is in the new Spider-Man films. So they have a different Spider-Man actor, but the guy is so good in it. What's his the actor's name? I forget the actor's name now. Who's in like Oz and stuff? That guy, Simmons. He was so good that he actually plays J. Jonah Jameson in multiple films. So he's like in multiple dimensions. It's really weird, because I know, like, I love that Spider-Man film where like all the three Spider-Men come together. Maguire, Garfield, and the new guy who's in, oh, what's his name again? I can't remember his name now. He was in Uncharted as well. That guy, they all come together. I love that film. So, but it is kind of strange how J. Jonah Jameson is the same actor. But what can you do? Anyway, this game, very good. So you can spin a web, you can hit the enemies with the web, and then kind of tie them up, and then go over and punch and kick them. So you can punch, kick, web, and jump in this one. And then you can also, like, some of the, I don't want to say bosses, because like the first kind of like boss you encounter, like non-regular enemy, is like a helicopter, and you just have to like shoot webs at it until it crashes. So I'm not sure how safe like shooting a helicopter down in Manhattan would be. I think that would be extremely dangerous. So I don't know what Spider-Man was thinking with that. Even like the current Spider-Man games, when you're like chasing after the like the PlayStation 4 one, when you're chasing after like the enemies and stuff, it does seem a bit too dangerous for Spider-Man, because he's putting people in danger. But yeah, this one, it's a good kind of showcase for what the PSP can do, considering it's such an early game. So Spider-Man can, like, you can, you know, walk on all the walls and stuff. And the combat is a bit simple though. There doesn't seem to be as many things to do as other kind of beat 'em up games like this at the time, but I don't know. It's better than This is actually still better than some of the other licensed games I've played. Like I recently played the James Bond game, and that seemed like very cheap compared to this. This seems a lot more polished and kind of detailed. Even though some of those games are like, or Miami Vice, like the TV show games or the film games, they're sort of like, I don't know, they just don't. I don't know, they just don't do it. The licensed games. I used to always stay away from licensed games. Like if it was a movie of a game or a game of a movie even, I'd always stay away from it. But yeah, but this one not too bad. I'd play this again, or I'd play it a bit further than the few hours I've sunk into it already. So that's Spider-Man for PSP. Let me know if you've played Spider-Man for PSP, Spider-Man 2 even, in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.
This is my story. It's the usual thing. Struggling student working his way through college, in love with the girl next door. Well, I suppose it does have an unusual twist. You see, fate handed me amazing powers, and I made a promise to use those powers to help people. With great power comes great responsibility.